So over the course of 3 years of OpenSciEd, students will be experiencing all of the performance expectations from the next generation science standards from the NGSS. So we often refer to the performance expectations as PEs. And these are basically just what students are expected to be able to demonstrate understanding on by the end of their learning. And the PEs are divided into 3 areas. The middle one is what we traditionally thought of as science. So this is the content, the disciplinary core idea, or the DCI. But each performance expectation also includes the science and engineering practices, or SEPs. So these are the things that scientists or engineers do in the course of their work. In this case, that's showing you that they're using mathematics and computational thinking. And every performance expectation also includes cross-cutting concepts, or CCCs. And these are ideas that go across all disciplinary areas, all domains of science. So for example, in this case, cause and effect is something that you're always looking at in science. What's causing something? What's the effect of of something that happens? So again, the PEs are very broad NGSS language of what's being covered. And because we are putting all this information in a particular context, we also have what are called LLPEs, or lesson level performance expectations. And so every lesson has more specific expectations for what students should be able to do by the end of the lesson. There is normally at least one LLPE per day in the course. So here's an example of one from lesson 1, which you will be experiencing soon. And it says, ask questions to clarify or seek information about what causes humans to protect ecosystem functioning and productivity, and what the effects of the protection are. And so you'll see there's which SEP, DCI, and CCC are covered in this. And it is color coded as well. The science and engineering practices are always in blue, so you know how students are doing something. So in this case, we want them to ask questions. They're going to be trying to figure out the kinds of investigations they could do, or who they might go to answer those questions. They will be looking at the content will be this disciplinary core idea, where they're looking at how humans protect ecosystem functioning and productivity. So they're thinking about what is the relationship between humans and what's happening in ecosystems. And how are humans part of these ecosystems? And then they're going to be focusing on cause and effect. So what might humans do that could cause some changes in the ecosystem or protect the ecosystem are the kinds of things they'll be looking at. So if you're interested, we will be providing whatever you need during the course, but of course, eventually you're going to want to download this information for yourself, and it is all free for you to use. So every unit provides a large variety of materials. We have the teacher guides, which has the kind of step-by-step suggested instructions for how to use the materials. It contains keys that you might need, the assessment information, other guidance that for additional resources or background information. There are student-facing slides. These are Google Docs, and so you can modify them if you need to meet the needs of your students. All of these are also in the process of being translated into Spanish, so there are also slides available in Spanish for many of the units, including B1. And then there's this unit storyline, which is very helpful if you want just in a couple pages and a reminder of or an overview of what you're going to be doing in each lesson and how you navigate from lesson to lesson. There's also more significant background information available about how this fits into the context of the whole course. In terms of what the students will use, there are what we call student consumables. These are handouts that you might give them they're going to be writing on and filling in, and so they will use them and have their own copy. These will be added to a notebook, which we will explain in more detail in the instructions for Unit 1, but basically it's a 3-ring binder where students have loose leaf paper, and then they add all of these handouts that they get to that binder and have everything in one place. And then there are what we call student non-consumables. These are references that you might be able to hand out and have students reuse from, if you have multiple sections, like you can hand it out in section 1 and they can also use it in section 2, because students aren't writing on it. So it might be procedures or reference data that they can use multiple times, or you can use multiple times as an instructor. So if you would like to download these materials, they are open source, they're available for free. You can go to OpenSciEd.org and create a free account to access the materials. This does not mean you're going to get on a lot of mailing lists. We don't sell your information. Then you want to navigate to the high school curriculum, and you can either examine the materials or you can download them depending on where you are in the process. So let me just show you what that site looks like. So I've already logged in, but this is what the site will look like when you go in, and you can either explore the curriculum down at the bottom here or up at the top. You can choose to look at the high school curriculum. And then you can click on the instructional materials if you want to look at those. In this case, we're looking at biology and we are looking at Unit 1. So if you click on Unit 1 for ecosystem interactions and dynamics, then you will have a summary of the entire unit that's listed here. But really what you want to do in this case is go to download this unit. And then you have two options. You can use, we have Google versions available and we have PDF versions available. An easy way to preview the unit is just to click on preview the unit in Google Drive. And then you will get a list like this. This will basically just be all the files that we're going to have. And so you'll go in here and you have access to all of the files that are part of the unit. So there are both English and Spanish versions available in this case. So you have all the handouts, all of the readings, you have all the slides that are available. So this is there for you to take. And because they're all Google Docs, you can make copies and you can modify them in whatever way is useful to you.